meeting the challenge of difficult people. How many times as a leader are you trying to manage somebody who's really challenging your sense of self, your sense of what should happen, and feeling kind of trapped, kind of stuck, not sure what to do?
We are Marn and Simon Middle coming to you with a solution to this as your relationship coach.
So as we think about that, one of the challenges we have is how do we not get ourselves sucked into the emotions of what the other person might be experiencing? And that takes our own self-emotional regulation.
It's actually called differentiation, where we stay in who we are and we notice that the other person is separate from us.
We as leaders often want to fix the situation. And when we get into that fix it mode, when we see somebody's strong emotions, we want to fix it. We want them to feel better. And there's nothing wrong in that. The reality is, though, we have actually very little control, if any, on how another person feels.
It's very easy to point the finger at someone else and to put our focus and our energy on what they're doing or how they're acting. But to me, part of noticing who I am, where I'm at, is to be curious on, are there values of mine that they're bumping into? Are there behaviors that I'm objecting to? What's going on inside of me is the first place to start instead of trying to fix what's out there.
So as we get more self-awareness about what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, and even bringing in our own core values as our guide, then we can start to move into a place of how do we separate the facts from the emotion? When we often have people who are challenging, we sometimes will dismiss everything they're saying versus saying, hey, what there actually might be some validity in some of the facts they're sharing. The problem might be the way that emotionally it's coming across. So we want to separate those things.
Doing perspective taking can be really helpful. When we as people feel seen, heard, and valued, our emotional regulation can go down. We can move into more of a place of peace, and then we're open for change and shift and collaboration.
So in order for us to move into those areas, we have to be curious. We can't move into that without being curious about what the other person's experience is actually, what that other person is actually going through. When we try to put our own experience onto somebody else, we often miss out on what's actually meaningful for them.
Bringing in a sense of security and certainty is also really, really helpful. Maybe that's a form of assurance, but often we freak out because things feel unsafe or things are just like so confusing or uncertain. So even if there's some unknowns, you as a leader can bring in the things that are certain, like, hey, we're on the same team together, or, yep, I hear you, and I am willing to partner to address this together.
So as we move forward, then we want to validate, we want to reflect what we're hearing without judgment, and we want to validate what's real for that person. Now, validation does not necessarily mean agreement. All we need to say is, hey, you know what, that makes sense from your perspective. That makes a lot of sense from your perspective. That can then lead us to a place of curiosity. And when we get into that curious place, that's where the magic is. That's where we can start to find solutions. And that's where we can start hearing and understanding each other.
The basic principle here is safety opens up places for creativity, innovation, and collaboration. And if somebody is freaking out, it's a sign to you that some more safety could be really helpful.
So there's a lot that we as leaders need to manage, and we get that. And we also know that dealing with challenging situations, challenging people is one of the most uncomfortable things that we do as leaders.
Not fun.
We're here to help you. We're here to help support you in that journey. And if you click on the link below, let's have a conversation about how we can help, how we can partner with you in some of these really challenging things. We look forward to talking with you soon.